Before we continue, we'd love for you to subscribe to the Dip Dive podcast channel. Your support helps us grow and create even better content just for you. Thanks for being part of our journey.
Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're diving into something I think we can all relate to. Birthday party blunders. You know those moments when a perfectly planned celebration goes hilariously wrong?
Oh, yeah.
Well, our listeners sent in some truly epic stories, and we're going to unpack them together.
Yep.
And maybe even uncover some unexpected insights along the way.
Sounds fine.
So the first story is from Sarah. She wrote in about her boyfriend's 30th birthday party. She wanted to make it a surprise.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she went all out. Decorations, friends. She even got a custom cake. But there was one tiny detail she overlooked.
Uh-oh. Let me guess, communication.
You got it.
Oh.
Sarah's boyfriend decided to grab one quick drink with a friend before the party
Oh, no.
and ended up missing the whole surprise.
Wow.
He strolled in 3 hours late, completely oblivious that everyone had been waiting for him.
It makes you wonder if sometimes we get so caught up in the surprise that we forget about the person we're actually surprising.
That's so true.
Like maybe the real thoughtfulness is understanding what the other person would appreciate.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Sometimes the best gifts are tailored to the recipient, not just our vision of what we think is impressive.
Absolutely.
Speaking of well-intentioned plans going awry, let's hear about Tony's experience baking a unicorn cake for his niece's birthday.
Oh, I love this one.
Tony saw those picture-perfect unicorn cakes online and thought, I can totally do that.
Yeah.
But, as we often find out, reality rarely lives up to the internet hype.
So true.
His cake ended up looking less like a majestic unicorn and more like, as he put it, a horse that's been through a really bad breakup.
Oh, no.
And then the entire thing collapsed when he tried to move it.
Oh, the ultimate baking nightmare.
It really is.
It's interesting, though, like all this pressure to create these picture-perfect things.
Yeah.
Maybe it's made us forget the simple joy of just baking, the process, the imperfections, just the shared experience of it all.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Sometimes a store-bought cake is perfectly acceptable and much less stressful. Okay, now let's shift gears from cake disasters to another potential minefield: gift giving. Emma wrote in about a memorable present she got from her best friend for her 21st birthday.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, so get this. Emma's friend gave her a framed picture of herself.
Wait, what?
Not a picture of them together, just her friend, solo.
Whoa.
And Emma's friend was like, I wanted you to have something to remember me by.
Okay, so maybe gift giving is sometimes more about the giver than the receiver.
Right.
Maybe it's about expressing themselves or highlighting a connection.
Maybe. Or maybe she just really loved that picture of herself.
That's possible, too.
Either way, it's definitely a story Emma won't forget.
Definitely sparked a conversation.
For sure.
Which sometimes is the best gift of all.
So true. Okay, moving on from human foibles to animal antics, Jessica shared a story about her dog and her mom's birthday cake.
Oh, I love dog stories.
This one's a gem. Jessica thought it would be adorable to have her dog bring out the cake, complete with a little party hat.
Oh, that's cute.
But you can probably guess. Things went a little off script.
I'm sensing a collision of canine instincts and carefully laid plans.
Pretty much. So he sees the cat across the room and decides that's way more exciting than a cake.
Okay.
So he takes off running, party hat askew, cake flying through the air,
Oh my gosh, where did the cake land?
right in Jessica's aunt's lap. A direct hit.
I can't even imagine.
But you know what? Jessica's mom just burst out laughing. She was like, well, at least the dog's having fun.
That's the spirit.
Right. Sometimes you just got to laugh it off and enjoy the moment. After all, these are the moments that make the best stories later on.
I totally agree. It's about embracing that little bit of spontaneity and chaos.
Exactly. And speaking of moments that make great stories, our final one for this section comes from Ravi. He shared a hilarious story about his son's 8th birthday party. He hired a clown, but things didn't quite go as planned.
Oh no, clowns at kids' parties can be a gamble.
Right. Well, this clown didn't get the reception he was hoping for. One kid started crying, said the clown was too scary. And of course, that set off a chain reaction.
Oh no.
Soon half the kids were in tears, and the other half were laughing at the poor clown.
Kids are so unpredictable.
They really are.
It just shows how important it is to know your audience, even when that audience is a bunch of 8-year-olds.
So true. Ravi actually ended up having to pay the clown extra to leave early because he was so flustered.
Oh, wow. I can't imagine getting heckled by a bunch of kids.
That's about a tough crowd.
It's a good reminder that even the most meticulously planned events can get hijacked by the unpredictable nature of life.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the end of part 1 of our deep dive into birthday party blunders. Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll explore even more hilarious mishaps and hopefully uncover some more surprising insights along the way.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to our deep dive into birthday party blunders.
We've already heard some hilarious stories about surprise parties, cake catastrophes, and gift-giving gone wrong.
Right. And we're just getting started.
Yeah. In this section, we'll explore even more tales of unexpected chaos and see what other insights we can glean from these memorable mishaps.
Okay, let's jump in.
You know, when we think about things that can go wrong at parties, we often focus on, like, the human element,
Yeah.
But Jessica's story reminded us that our furry friends can also add a whole other layer of unpredictability. It makes you wonder, do animals have a secret sense of humor or something?
Right.
Or are they just completely oblivious to our human attempts at celebration?
It's probably a bit of both.
Yeah, I think so.
They just operate on instinct, responding to stimuli in ways that we can't always predict.
Right.
And that's part of what makes them so delightful to have in our lives.
Absolutely. But sometimes their enthusiasm can lead to some pretty memorable messes.
For sure.
Speaking of unexpected guests, Ravi's story about the clown at his son's party really got me thinking about the role of entertainment at birthday parties.
Yeah, it's interesting how the clown was supposed to be the center of attention.
Right.
And he ended up getting completely upstaged by the kids themselves.
I know. It's like they created their own impromptu comedy routine, much to the clown's dismay.
But that's hilarious.
It really makes you wonder if sometimes the best entertainment comes from those unscripted moments,
Oh, yeah.
the unexpected interactions that you couldn't have planned even if you tried.
You just got to surrender to the moment and embrace the unexpected.
Absolutely. Even when it involves a crying clown and a room full of giggling children.
For sure.
So what have we learned so far from these tales of birthday party blunders?
It seems like a recurring theme is this tension between our carefully laid plans
Yeah.
and the unpredictable nature of life.
Right.
We try to control every detail, create this perfect experience,
Yeah.
but ultimately it's those unexpected twists and turns that make these events really memorable.
It's a reminder to embrace the chaos, laugh at the mishaps,
Yeah.
and cherish the stories, even the ones that involve cake facials and runaway dogs.
Exactly. And I think there's also a deeper message here about the importance of connection and shared experiences.
These stories, even the ones about disastrous cakes and awkward gifts,
Right.
they're all ultimately about the bonds we share with the people in our lives.
It's about creating moments that we can laugh about and reminisce about for years to come.
Absolutely. And sometimes those moments arise from the most unexpected sources.
Oh, for sure.
Speaking of unexpected sources, we have one last story for this deep dive.
Okay.
It comes from a listener named Maya, and it involves a theme that we haven't touched on yet, technology.
Ooh, technology. That always has a way of spicing things up.
I know, right? And Maya's story is a perfect example of that.
All right, let's hear it.
She decided to set up a photo booth at her friend's birthday party,
Oh, fun.
with props and backdrops and all that.
Everyone loves a good photo op.
Exactly. But Maya's photo booth didn't quite go as planned. She accidentally set the camera to time-lapse mode.
Wait, so instead of taking pictures, it was recording a video of the whole party.
Pretty much. And to make matters worse, she didn't realize her mistake until after the party was over.
Oh, no.
She said it was like watching this bizarre fast-forwarded version of the whole celebration. People were zipping around, food was disappearing, and the dancing looked like a chaotic blur.
I bet that was pretty funny to watch, though.
I know, right? She said she was devastated at first, but eventually saw the humor in it.
It's a good reminder to not take ourselves too seriously, especially when technology decides to throw us a curveball.
For sure. And who knows, maybe that time-lapse video will become a treasured memento of the party, capturing the essence of the event in a way that still photos never could.
That's true. It's definitely a unique perspective.
Yeah.
It highlights how technology, while often intended to document our experiences, can sometimes lead to unexpected outcomes.
Absolutely. So let's move on to our final section, where we'll reflect on the broader themes that have emerged from these birthday party blunders and consider what lessons we can take away from them. Welcome back to the deep dive. We've heard so many great stories about surprise parties gone wrong, cake catastrophes.
And let's not forget the dog who thought a cat was more appealing than birthday cake.
Definitely a highlight. And of course, that time-lapse photo booth,
Yeah.
capturing the whole party and fast forward.
It really shows how time flies when we're having fun.
Exactly. So, as we wrap up our deep dive into birthday party blunders, what can we learn from these chaotic and often hilarious events?
Well, I think one of the big takeaways is this idea of embracing imperfection.
Yeah.
We plan these parties and have these visions in our heads of how we want them to go.
Yeah.
But then, well, life happens.
It always
The
does.
cake collapses, the dog runs off at the centerpiece, the clown gets heckled.
Yeah.
But, that's okay.
It really is.
In fact, it's what makes those events memorable. I mean, think about it. If everything went perfectly according to plan, would we even remember them a year later?
That's a good point.
It's the unexpected moments, the mishaps, the things that didn't go according to plan.
Right.
Those become the stories that we tell over and over again.
You really do.
And they really bind us together through laughter and that shared experience.
I think that's a powerful message. We live in a world where everything has to be perfect.
Yeah.
We're constantly bombarded with images of perfect parties and flawless celebrations.
Right. But real life is messy.
It really is.
Unpredictable.
Yeah, and that's where the real beauty lies.
Exactly. It's those moments when the dog steals the show, when the cake becomes an abstract art project.
Or when the carefully chosen gift turns out to be hilariously wrong.
Those are the moments that make us human.
That remind us to laugh at ourselves and find the joy in the unexpected.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So as we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners with this thought. The next time you find yourself at a birthday party, or any celebration really, and something goes hilariously wrong, don't fret. Just embrace the chaos, laugh it off.
Yeah.
Because you never know, you might just be making a memory that will last a lifetime.
And hey, maybe your story will be the one we feature on our next deep dive into the wonderfully messy world of human experience.
Until then, happy celebrating, everyone. And remember, embrace the blunders. They really do make the best stories.
See you next time.